Sir Nigel joined the British diplomatic service in 1976 and has served in Washington, Brussels, and Moscow, as well as having served in a wide range of public policy jobs in London. He took his position as British ambassador to the U.S. in October of 2007. As ambassador, he leads the embassy in Washington and 9 other consulates general around the U.S. His first posting to Washington was 1983 to 1987 as first secretary, political secretary in the embassy. Sir Nigel was born in 1953, attended Oxford, and was knighted in 2001. He is married to the lovely lady and has 3 sons. We are presenting this award, the first inaugural award, to Sir Nigel in recognition of the long history of U.S.-UK cooperation, support, and friendship between our 2 countries, including most recently our joint efforts and leadership in dealing with the global financial crisis, developing a new regulatory environment, and of course, confronting global terrorism. I think our 2 countries are very much tied at the hip. Sir Nigel's personal contribution and also Sir Nigel's personal contribution to a better, more peaceful relations between governments and peoples worldwide. As an example, his successful negotiation of the release of 15 Royal Navy personnel from Iran, making a critical breakthrough call with the head of Iran's Supreme National Security Council in 2007. Sir Nigel, would you please join me to receive the inaugural Distinguished Diplomatic Services Award?
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Rick, for your introduction, and thank you all for being here this evening. It is a great honor, not least given the distinction of the other recipients of awards this evening. And thank you for recognizing the vitality and importance of the relationship between the UK and the US. There's a lot of history to it. Everyone remembers Churchill's comment that you can always count on the Americans to do the right thing after they've tried everything else. Now, quite a bit has changed since Churchill's day. Our relationship, and I think the relationship between the country and those of a number of others represented in this room, these relationships have changed a great deal over the years. Of course, for the UK, there is still a military and intelligence core to that relationship and a shared determination to face up to the challenges in the world. But today we're cooperating, as we just heard, on how to fashion the right global response to the recession. Our economies are suffering, and the UK and the US have a central role in reforming the world financial system and ensuring that our international financial institutions have the resources and direction that they need for the future. And we in the UK remain convinced that the best path to recovery is keeping our markets open to trade and to investment. Of course, we also continue to work together on the huge number of foreign policy and international security challenges in the world today. Now, this award is about the work that the embassy in Washington does and the work of our 9 consulates general around the United States. This embassy is our largest in the world. It's like a mini Whitehall, a mini government. We've got about 16 government departments and agencies represented in it, and that includes a very substantial British defence staff who represent our commitment to a tradition of shared effort and shared sacrifice in defense of our shared values. The embassy has been very active in recent years in promoting the need for a low-carbon economy. We've had a series of state and regional collaborations to push forward that shared environmental agenda with California, Florida, the Midwest, the Northeast, and we're now working, of course, with the new administration and Congress on that issue. But the UK-US relationship depends not on governments, but ultimately on peoples. And we put a lot of effort into our human exchanges and cooperation in the areas of education and science, and as previous speakers this evening have said, that of course is the future. Nowhere has that human element been more important than in relation to Northern Ireland. And since I was last here in the 1980s, the political and social landscape in Northern Ireland has changed irrevocably. Now, I'd like to mention I first met Tony Cully-Foster here on my left, who's one of the members of the board of this council during that period. He has forged a huge number of business and political links between the United States and Northern Ireland over those 3 decades. And it's great for me to return to meet friends like Tony, but to register the enormous amount of progress which has been made on Northern Ireland, and to be able to recognize the huge American contribution to that progress along the way. Now, the qualities that diplomats need really aren't very different from others in public life, but a talent for negotiation is certainly one of them. I do actually much less formal negotiation in this job than most of my previous ones. Now, negotiation means protecting your own country's interests, but it also requires sensitivity to others, understanding cultural differences, and being prepared to make honest compromises. And that in turn requires governments and opinion formers and public opinion to back up the negotiator and recognize that the best should not always be the enemy of the good. Now that appreciation and the commitment to thinking strategically and long-term are contributions that this World Affairs Council makes today, and I'm sure will continue to make in the future, to debate here and around the country. So thank you very much for this honor, and congratulations to the other award. Thank you.